Have you ever stood before a situation so daunting it seemed utterly impossible? We've all been there, haven't we? Staring down the barrel of a challenge so immense it feels like we're at the foot of a mountain, with no gear or map to guide us. Life, in its unpredictable charm, has a way of throwing us curveballs that can sometimes feel insurmountable. Whether it's a personal dilemma, a professional hurdle, or a societal issue that seems bigger than us, we've all felt that knot in our stomach. That shiver of fear. A sense of helplessness that can be all-consuming, making us question our abilities, our worth. Yet as we stand at the precipice of what appears to be an impossible situation, it's crucial to remember that we are not alone. We are part of a collective human experience, united in our struggles and our triumphs. But remember, even in the face of the impossible, there are ways to navigate and conquer. Before we tackle the impossible, we must first understand the obstacle. Let's take a moment to consider that. What does it mean to understand an obstacle? It's more than just acknowledging its existence or recognizing its form. It's about delving deep, peeling back the layers to reveal the true nature of the challenge that stands in our way. Imagine, if you will, a massive boulder blocking a road. A mere glance would tell you it's an obstacle. But understanding the boulder means more than simply knowing it's there. It's about recognizing its weight, its texture, its composition. It's about knowing whether it's a single solid rock or a collection of smaller stones held together. It's about understanding whether it can be moved or if it needs to be broken down first. The same applies to the obstacles we face in life. Often what seems impossible is merely a series of smaller, more manageable problems that are bundled together. The trick is in breaking them down, analyzing each part, and understanding how they connect to form the bigger picture. Understanding the obstacle also means understanding its impact on you, your emotions, your thoughts, and your actions. It's about recognizing the power it has over you and how it influences your decisions and behavior. By understanding this, you can start to take control, to regain power over the obstacle rather than it having power over you. So how do we start to understand our obstacles? It begins with a willingness to confront the issue head-on, to not shy away from it or deny its existence. It requires patience, introspection, and sometimes a little bit of courage. It's about asking the right questions, seeking help when needed, and being open to new perspectives. When you start to understand your obstacle, you begin to see it not as an immovable object, but as a puzzle, a challenge to be solved. And just like any puzzle, it becomes less daunting when you start to see how the pieces fit together. Every problem, no matter how big, can be broken down into smaller, more manageable parts. Remember this as you face your impossible and watch as it transforms into the possible. The key to facing the impossible lies in shifting our perspective. Let's talk about mindset and attitude. They are the invisible forces that shape our reactions to life's challenges. They determine whether we see a wall or a doorway, a stumbling block or a stepping stone. They are the architects of our reality. If we shape them well, they can turn the most formidable mountains into mere molehills. Consider this. When we encounter a difficulty, we often view it as a roadblock, an impassable barrier that halts our progress. But what if instead we see it as a detour, an alternate route that may lead us to a destination we never anticipated? What if we see it not as a hindrance, but as an opportunity for growth and learning? This shift in perspective can be empowering. Suddenly, the impossible doesn't seem so daunting. It becomes a puzzle to be solved, a challenge to be met head-on, a chance to prove to ourselves that we are stronger and more resilient than we ever imagined. Imagine a world where we see every adversity as a chance to grow, every setback as a setup for a comeback, every failure as a step closer to success. That's the power of perspective. It doesn't change the reality of the challenge, but it changes how we approach it. It transforms our fear into courage, our despair into hope, our impossibilities into possibilities. So, how do we shift our perspective? It starts with a decision to see things differently, a decision to focus not on the difficulty of the task, but on the potential for growth it presents, a decision to embrace the struggle, knowing that it's in the struggle that we find our strength. Remember, our minds are like parachutes. They work best when they are open. So let's open our minds to the endless possibilities that lie beyond the impossible. Let's see our challenges not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones to a better, stronger, wiser version of ourselves. A shift in perspective can transform the impossible into the possible. Now that we've shifted our perspective, it's time to take action. Taking action might seem daunting, especially when you're staring at a mountain of impossibility. But remember, even the most challenging of journeys begin with a simple step. So let's break it down and tackle this together. First, let's talk about setting small, achievable goals. When we're faced with a massive task, it's easy to get overwhelmed. But if we break it down into smaller, manageable pieces, it suddenly becomes less daunting. Think of it as a puzzle. Each small goal is a piece of the puzzle, and as you complete each one, you're one step closer to your final picture. It might take time, but every piece matters. Next, persistence is key. There will be days when progress seems slow, when the road ahead seems long and winding. But remember, persistence is not about speed, it's about endurance. It's about continuing the journey, even when the going gets tough. It's about reminding yourself that every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. Finally, celebrate your small victories. Every little goal you achieve, every puzzle piece you fit into place, is a cause for celebration. It's a sign of progress, a testament to your hard work and persistence. So don't wait until the end to celebrate. Savor each small victory along the way. It's not just about reaching the destination, but also about enjoying the journey. Taking action is not about making giant leaps. It's about making consistent, determined steps. It's about setting small goals, staying persistent, and celebrating your progress along the way. It's about realizing that every step you take, no matter how small, is a step towards overcoming the impossible. And remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. It doesn't matter how slow you go, as long as you don't stop. So take that first step, then take another and another. Before you know it, you'll be standing at the top of that mountain, looking back at how far you've come. Remember, every journey begins with a single step. No man is an island, and in facing the impossible, support is crucial. In the grand tapestry of life, intertwined threads of connection form the strongest fabric. As we journey through the uncharted territories of our personal challenges, it's these connections that provide the strength we need to push forward. We're not meant to face life's trials alone. In fact, it's through the collective power of community, friendship, and family that we can conquer the seemingly impossible. Let's consider the mighty redwood trees. Towering hundreds of feet into the sky, these magnificent giants have roots that are rather shallow for their size. But they don't topple over because their roots intertwine with the roots of other redwoods, creating a vast network of support. Similarly, when we intertwine our lives with those of others, we too can stand tall amidst the fiercest storms. Seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to our strength. It shows we have the courage to admit when we're in over our heads, and the wisdom to know when to lean on others for support. It's perfectly okay to ask for help. It's okay to not have all the answers. After all, we're all learning as we go. Our communities, friends, and family are often more than willing to offer a helping hand, a listening ear, or a shoulder to lean on. They can provide a fresh perspective, a piece of advice, or just the encouragement we need to keep going. They can remind us of our worth when we're feeling low, and celebrate with us when we triumph. In the end, it's not about tackling the impossible alone, but about harnessing the power of unity to overcome obstacles. It's about realizing that we are part of a bigger picture, a network of support that's there to lift us up when we stumble and cheer us on as we strive towards our goals. So remember, in the face of the seemingly impossible, don't isolate yourself. Reach out, connect, and lean on the strength of those around you. Together, we can overcome even the most impossible challenges. So, what do we do when everything seems impossible? We've journeyed together through a landscape where obstacles loom large and daunting. We've seen that understanding the problem is the first step towards conquering it. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, the monsters aren't so scary. We've learned that shifting our perspective can make all the difference. It's like looking at a mountain from a distance. It's colossal, it's intimidating. But as we move closer, we realize it's just a collection of smaller hills and valleys. We've discovered that taking action, no matter how small, propels us forward. It's the first step that kickstarts the journey, the first push that sets the wheel in motion. And we've acknowledged that we don't have to do it alone. Relying on support is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to our strength. Embrace the impossible, for it's in these moments that we truly discover